if you need to, cover up with any pillows, blankets, or anything to block potential debris, but thankfully we don't have any confirmation of a tornado right now. All right, let's go back to Max HD radar and we'll check out our velocity mode again on that storm. We'll see if it's continued to weaken just a little bit. And thankfully, I don't see any other warnings at the moment, but this is still that area right here that we're watching. It's in south central Perry County, moving at 70 miles per hour. And have you heard anything on chat, Christina, about them possibly issuing a new warning downstream of this one?
No, chat's been pretty quiet. I'm sure that they're seeing the same thing that we are. It doesn't look near as impressive as it did even just 5 minutes ago. But what I'm seeing happening is it's kind of pulsing, so it won't. But it'll.
And good evening, I'm meteorologist Sam Gabrielli checking in with you here. We have some active warnings in Kentuckiana right now. A lot of these have been turning into tornadic. We've been watching this as the afternoon and evening has progressed. It's been a very massive storm system, but let's get started with what is going on currently on our Max HD radar. We do have two areas of concern right now. There is a tornado warning issued for Breckinridge County. This is also for Perry County in Indiana, and also portions of Hancock County as we speak. So we're watching this tornado warning storm. It's radar indicated. These storms are making their way to the east around 70 miles an hour. And they're packing a huge punch as they make their way eventually towards Louisville. We're going to give you an idea of where the rotation is within this tornado warning storm right now as well. It looks like right now the rotation is mainly staying towards Tell City, where we're kind of getting the idea of this darker green and the lighter green coming together. That's where a lot of that rotation is within this tornado warning storm right now. So if you do reside within Leopold, towards Brandenburg, eventually towards Hardinsburg and just north of there, make sure you get into the lowest level of your home right now. Seek shelter immediately as this storm is tornadic right now. Now the good news is it's not actually producing a confirmed tornado, but this is something that obviously we're going to be watching very, very closely to monitor if we do happen to get any reports of tornado warnings or a confirmed tornado that actually is going to be underway for the area. I'm actually, one sec, I'm going to pop up some of the information in the National Weather Service chat here on this computer next to me, so I have a source of information as we pull up this live video. This warning actually does go until about 10:45 Central Time, 11:45 Eastern, and they're likely going to go ahead and extend it.
Dewey, our producer, was just able to get off the phone with Breckenridge Dispatch and ask them about any sort of damage reports, and none that they're aware of at this point.
That's always good news, and there never was a confirmed tornado. It was just radar indicated rotation, but nevertheless, we still have to go on air with you to alert you of that danger. So Christina has panned over to.
So again, we have a tornado warning still in effect for Tell City, Leopold, towards Brandenburg. If you're just happening to tune in right now, we're also live actually in WHAS11 on TV. Alden and Christina are here in studio. We're working around the clock here. There's three of us keeping you informed here with the First Alert Storm Team. And unfortunately, this storm is actually making its way to the east around 70 miles an hour. So with time, it might be making its way towards Louisville. So if I put a little bit of a timestamp on this, this will give you an idea as to when exactly it's going to be trekking towards Louisville. And notice around Valley Station around 12:11 Eastern is when it's going to make its way into your area. So this storm system is moving really, really quickly to the east around 70. So this storm system is packing quite the punch with it, as it is a quick mover. So we're not really too concerned about flooding with this storm system. We're more concerned about tornadoes. There could be some damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour, and there could be a couple of tornadoes with this line of thunderstorms. If we look off to the west as well, there's another line of storms towards the Owensboro area, eventually north of that, as we take a look at the Wabash River, and then again up towards the north, actually, Bloomington, Seymour, Scottsburg, Madison, picking up some thunderstorms right now. They're not severe to the north, just some heavier showers and storms, but of course the main story right now still being this tornado. that is underway for the Breckinridge County area, as well as Hancock County and Perry County in Indiana. This goes for another 3 more minutes. If you do live in these areas, please make sure you're seeking shelter. Immediately get into the lowest level of your home, as these storms are packing a huge punch to the east right now. Get away from windows. Please get your blankets, get your flashlight, get any means you need to keep yourself safe from these storms as they are making their way to the east relatively quickly this evening. And, you know, as these storms continue to originate and march their way to the east with time, they're going to make their way into heavily populated areas such as Jefferson County, towards New Albany, southern Indiana, Corydon, Fort Knox, potentially. So don't get your guard down tonight. Please make sure you have a means to get the latest updates on your mobile phone, or if you have a NOAA weather radio, that's extremely important for alerts. As we progress throughout the remainder of the evening and overnight hours, we approach midnight here, Eastern time, about almost 11 o'clock Central. This tornado is marching its way to the east relatively quickly right now. This is the track of it. So again, it's moving to the east, northeast towards Brandenburg. It'll be crossing that border, that county line, into Meade County pretty soon, and then again potentially into Harrison County in southern Indiana as we progress throughout the rest of the evening and early overnight hours. The good news is that it's moving really quickly, so that generally means that it could weaken if we do get a lot of speed with it. But, you know, we are still getting suggestions that this is a pretty impactful thunderstorm, and there is going to be rotation within this storm as it's going to continue to trek its way to the east. So again, if you do live in Tell City right now, along the Ohio River, towards Alton, New Amsterdam, Lockport, this is where conditions are really looking very treacherous right now. If you do live in these areas, you please need to be seeking shelter and riding out this storm. They are continuing the tornado warning for now, so we're watching this very, very closely. In about a minute, we'll get an update on if they're going to go ahead and extend this or if they're going to go ahead and expire the warning here as it continues to make its way to the east-northeast.
Still have some pretty strong thunderstorms in the Indianapolis metro area, but those should also be weakening as they push east of I-65. So right now, really the strongest area of thunderstorm activity that we have is in Perry County, with that tornado warning that should be expiring here fairly soon. Christina, check chat too if you see anything new over there. So it's this thin line right here. Then we'll be watching the secondary line back towards Indiana near Mount Carmel as that continues to push east as well. And we'll see if those will be able to maintain their strength as they push into our southern Indiana communities too.
And Alden, nothing on the ongoing tornado warning at this point from the National Weather Service, however, special weather.
Okay, it looks like they did go ahead and expire this tornado warning. So that is good news if you do reside in that area along the Ohio River towards Brandenburg, Irvington, Leavenworth, Leopold. They did go ahead and they expired that warning. So that's good news with this system right now. We do have those active warnings though still off to the west towards Mount Carmel, West Salem, Princeton, Greer, towards I-69. So those storms will make their way into our western communities here pretty soon towards Jasper, Ferdinand, and Patoka Lake. Probably the next half an hour to about 45 minutes. But even if the storm is not severe, it is going to be producing very heavy rainfalls that makes its way over Metro Louisville and Jefferson County as well. So we do have some heavier thunderstorms to the north as well that we are tracking very closely right now. These storms are not severe, but there's a lot of lightning with them. We're watching heavy rainfall as these storms continue to trek their way to the north and east with time. And again, we have a pretty significant line developing still west of Louisville here. This line is not severe again. That tornado warning has expired, but it might redevelop. We'll have to see what happens through the rest of the evening. We're watching this very closely and providing further updates for you. A couple of thunderstorms have been kind of developing towards Fort Knox right now, southern Meade County, as well as northern areas of Hardin County here, as these storms are going to try and make their way towards Bullitt County and eventually try and skirt into southern Louisville. Again, all that activity staying not severe, below severe limits. We do have this active severe thunderstorm warning though, this one more for extreme southwestern Indiana, This one goes until 11:15 Central, as these storms are starting to kind of drift their way towards the Du Bois County area in the next hour or so. Kind of put everything in motion for you so you get an idea. And again, as a reminder as well, we still have a tornado watch that is in effect. So we don't have any ongoing warnings for Kentuckiana, but we do have that watch that still is in effect for the area. Let me pull up the information on that for you. Anywhere that's located in the red shaded counties, that's where that watch goes until 3 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time tonight. That's where we're going to be watching the potential for another warning or two that could be issued for the area. But the good news is we don't have any ongoing warnings right now, just the watch that is posted for the area. So that's good news. And I'll kind of show you future casts as well and time this out for you real closely. You're going to notice the storms are going to be affecting us until about midnight here along the I-65 corridor. And that second batch you see off to the west in Illinois and southwestern Indiana, that'll make its way towards Louisville as we approach the 1 a.m. hour, and those storms will make their way to the east with time after about 1 a.m. Before they start to kind of weaken over eastern Kentuckiana. So the good news is we don't have any active ongoing warnings right now. Again, here's the severe weather threats we're watching through the night tonight. There is going to be that risk for a tornado or two. Wind gusts could be up to about 60 to 70 miles an hour, and there could be some minor flooding with some of these storms. So I'll just show you radar real quick before we do log off this live video for a little bit and provide any further answers to questions you might have. But again, we have these storms that are kind of lining up west of Louisville towards Sellersburg, Scottsburg, and Madison. As these storms do make their way towards the city limits, we're going to watch a lot of very heavy rainfall with them. These storms are likely going to be impacting Louisville probably the next half an hour and beyond, stretching into the overnight hours here. So this is something we'll be watching very, very closely. It will be providing further updates if we do get more warnings. For now, we're going to sign off. Everybody, please make sure you know your safe space. If there are warnings issued, download the WHAS11 News app, as will be provided for the provide further updates, and we'll be watching this through the rest of the night for you. Okay, we'll be right back. Thanks.